Hi, folks. I restarted making videos with narration, though I said in the previous clip that I quit making videos in English, haha. However, I don't make videos in English but in Japanglish. So, I didn't lie, right? Let's restart. Today, I will make you see Okubo Street located in Shinjuku, Tokyo, Japan. But, I'm not to explain the street as usual in my clip, but just talking at random. By the way, I knew of the word Japanglish for the first time lately, when I visited a website which explains solving method of 10 billion as a puzzle made Nintendo a long years past when Nintendo has not made the computer game consoles. On the page, there is a reference to Nintendo explaining the puzzle in poor English, that is to say, Japanglish by the person who made the page. Even if I didn't know the word Japanglish, I understood that English speakers think of English that Japanese speaks as not correct English but as another language like English. I want to talk to such people who banter Japanese English as Japanglish. See the world map focusing on the locations of England and Japan. There is far distance between the two. The distance stands for the much more difference between those languages. We Japanese have our language as Japanese much different from English, however we try to use such a language, that's all I want to say. I happened to find a YouTube channel called Daigo no Guru, which is made by an American who teaches American English for Japanese, and who speaks Japanese very well. He said that he had mastered Japanese in 11 months, so, if you learn English with the same method to learn foreign language he did, you could master American English in 11 months. I don't think that you could master foreign language, even if you learn it with the same method he advocates, but I think that he is a genius on foreign languages. The American government gathered people who looked to be geniuses of language the moment World War II began, and made them learn Japanese with 11 months curriculum. Actually some of them mastered Japanese, working to analyze any information on Japan. On the contrary, I am not a genius of the language, indeed I have been learning English for not less than 11 years, but I haven't mastered it, yet. Okubo Street is a Korean town. I don't exactly know about it, because I don't like Korea, because Korea doesn't like Japan, because Korea has a grudge against Japan which annexed Korea for 35 years from 1910 to the end of the war. Any history cannot be interpreted in terms of only a view, especially history of the war tends to be interpreted in terms of only the victorious countries, but there are views and excuses by the losing countries. I'm just running now on my way home. Without the situation, I would never have come here. That attitude is not racism, because I could switch it into affection for Korea, if they stopped acting such racism against Japan. Although people in the world think that there is not much ethnical difference between Japanese and Korea, as it is, there is much difference, which has been proven with gene analysis. So much for this theme, because I continued this topic, you would look on me as a racist. You know about the opening of the border of Laos since the 9th of May, 2022. I got an email from the Japanese embassy in Vientiane, Laos, which informed me of the latest condition which you can enter Laos with only a certificate document to prove your inoculations vaccine for the COVID-19. However, I live separately without my Laotian wife for future divorce, and I don't think that I have time to go there again. With all the Philippines being a democratic country, the Philippines forces UPCR screening in advance not only on entry but also on departure as of the 9th of May, 2022. A Japanese living in the Philippines says that the government gathers foreign money on the business in tourism to sell visas and certifications such as permission to reside in the country. You need to pay for each situation, that is, the more they create such situations, the more money the government can gather. The certification on departure is another situation you need to pay for the commission to the government. Compared with Thailand as retirement land for foreigners, that looks to have an advantage over reliability of the government officer and the government policy on foreigners. However, the Philippines has an advantage over English understanding, and over that the probability of an old foreign man meeting a young Filipina can be higher. Although I said Korean town is located around here, there also are Thai food restaurants and curry restaurants managed by not Indians but Nepalis these days. When I lived with my Laotian wife, we often came around here to get Thai food stuff at a Thai food store. In short, this street is the place in which ethnic people gather. There had been a lot of news that Chinese gangs battled each other at Kabukicho, Shinjuku until 10 years ago, but nowadays such a news became not to be heard. Instead, murder cases between Vietnamese have often been being heard. Chinese might go back to their country in which the economic power has been growing, after they saw they could get money in China more than in Japan these days. Instead, a lot of Chinese tourists came to burst in Japan before the virus was pandemic. Come to think of it, the Academy Award, not this year but maybe 2 years ago, was less watched, that is to say, the viewing rate was lower than usual. Some people said about the reason that Korean movie makers and actors were prevalent. American society disliked discrimination at the front, but Americans sometimes express their discrimination unconsciously with a certain figure such as the viewing rate, ha ha ha. That's the reason I never go to Europe and America, but I do go to Southeast Asia. As long as I don't go out of Asia, I am comfortable without any discrimination against me as a Japanese. As for making narrations, I want to make you laugh by the narration, but I am not a person who comes from Osaka, which is a famous place as a business-oriented city where people there are apt to communicate over laughing. So, they became more skillful in making people laugh. On the contrary, people in Tokyo are not skillful at it, because the old Tokyo, when called Edo, was the shogun's place, gathering samurais. He didn't need to make people laugh but only loyalty to shogun. However, there was a culture of laughing in even such a city Tokyo, but it is different from laughing in Osaka. That of Osaka seeks loud laughter, but that of Tokyo doesn't always seek such laughter but decent laughter. I am a man in Tokyo, so actually I don't have the skill to make you laugh loudly and I don't want to as well, but I want to make you laugh decently, though I don't have such skill as well. I sought a suitable BGM in Power Director, software to edit movies, but I couldn't find my favorite one after installing the latest version. I have referred to BGM as I didn't want to use BGM free of copyright, because I'm afraid that the right holder would suddenly claim users to pay for its license. In this case, there is nothing of such a claim but stopping suddenly the opportunity to use one. It means that you don't have to pay but have to find a new way instead of free BGM, if you used once. You could be bothered to find a new way after you are forced to stop the old way that you are accustomed to. That's why I haven't used once on ordinary occasions, though I had used the free BGM several times. Such an idea occurred to me that I set up another blog coupled with my YouTube channel, copying and pasting this narration as it is. The reason I think of an idea as a good one is that only a YouTube channel can't gather watchers, but the coupled blog could assist in leading visitors to my YouTube channel. I will use Blogger because I'm not obliged to pay for using the blog. Oh, I must apologize to Poor Director, I'm sorry for your presence of more BGM in another window. Yes, I found BGMs in another window, downloading, and the BGM entering the area of download completed. But, when I dragged the BGM and pasted in a timeline, a window appeared and noticed that this is a function of subscription 356, if you want to use this function, subscribe please. I will cancel my apology to the Power Director. I must continue to make narration ahead instead of BGM. However, this clip is about to end in a minute. I have a plan for the next video. I will go to the place where vending machines are gathered, which you could see in 1970 through 1989. These are still working. One of the machines vends a bowl of udon, which is one of the noodles in soup. You can get one as stuff to eat the moment it is let out of the machine after you drop coins for the rate and wait for a while. Thank you for watching.